Imagine waking up one morning, checking your email like you've done 100 times before, hoping for that one message that could change your life forever. An update on your U.S. immigrant visa. Instead of good news, you see headlines everywhere saying the United States has paused immigrant visas. Your heart sinks. Questions rush in all at once. Is my case affected? Is my dream delayed? Is this pause temporary or does it change everything? If you're an immigrant visa applicant, a family member waiting to reunite, or even just someone trying to understand what's really happening behind these headlines, this video is for you. Today, we're breaking down what the pause on U.S. immigrant visas really means, who may be affected, who may not be affected at all, and most importantly, what you can do right now instead of panicking. This is U.S. Immigration Explorer, and our goal is simple: cut through the noise, explain the facts clearly, and help you make sense of a system that often feels confusing and overwhelming. Over the years, U.S. immigration policies have gone through many ups and downs. We've seen bans, pauses, backlogs, and sudden policy shifts that leave applicants feeling powerless. So when news breaks about immigrant visas being paused, it's natural to assume the worst. But as with most immigration news, the reality is more complex than a single headline suggests. Not all visas are treated the same. Not all applicants are impacted equally. And not every pause means a permanent stop. First, let's talk about what people mean when they say the U.S. has paused immigrant visas. In most cases, this does not mean that all immigrant visas have been canceled or permanently shut down. A pause usually refers to a temporary halt, slowdown, or suspension in processing, issuance, or scheduling. This can happen for many reasons: policy reviews, administrative changes, security checks, diplomatic issues, staffing shortages, or even broader political decisions. The U.S. immigration system involves multiple agencies, including the Department of State, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, and U.S. embassies and consulates around the world. A pause might affect one part of this system, but not another. For example, visa interviews at certain embassies may be delayed while applications continue to move forward behind the scenes. Or certain categories of immigrant visas may be temporarily deprioritized while others continue as usual. One of the biggest sources of confusion is the term immigrant visa itself. Immigrant visas are for people who intend to live permanently in the United States. These include family-sponsored visas, employment-based green cards, diversity visa lottery winners, and certain special immigrant categories. A pause might affect one of these categories while leaving others untouched. Family-sponsored immigrant visas are among the most emotionally impacted when delays or pauses occur. These visas are for spouses, parents, children, and siblings of U.S. citizens or lawful permanent residents. When processing slows or stops, families remain separated for months or even years longer than expected. If you're waiting for a spouse or child, every delay feels personal, and every headline feels like bad news. In some cases, immediate relatives of U.S. citizens, such as spouses, unmarried children under 21, and parents, are given priority and may be less affected by broad pauses. However, family preference categories like siblings or adult children often experience longer delays, especially during times of policy changes or administrative backlogs. Employment-based immigrant visas are another major category potentially affected by pauses. These visas are tied to job offers, labor certifications, and employer sponsorship. When immigrant visa processing slows, businesses may struggle to bring in skilled workers, and applicants may be stuck in limbo, unsure whether to continue planning their move, renewing temporary status, or exploring alternatives. For some applicants, the pause may not stop processing entirely but may slow down final approvals or interview scheduling. This can create uncertainty for people who have already invested time, money, and effort into the process. Medical exams expire, police certificates need renewal, and life plans remain on hold. Diversity visa lottery winners are often among the most vulnerable when immigrant visa pauses occur. The diversity visa program operates on strict annual deadlines. If processing slows too much, some winners risk losing their chance entirely even after being selected. For these applicants, timing is everything, and any pause feels especially stressful. So why do these pauses happen in the first place? The reasons can vary widely. Sometimes it's due to policy reviews ordered by the government to reassess certain visa categories. Other times it's related to security or background check enhancements. Diplomatic tensions between the U.S. and certain countries can also affect visa operations at specific embassies or consulates. Staffing issues play a major role as well. Many U.S. embassies and consulates are still dealing with backlogs from previous years. Limited staff means fewer interview slots, slower processing, and longer wait times. A pause may simply reflect the reality that the system is overloaded and needs time to catch up. It's also important to understand what a pause does not mean. A pause does not automatically cancel your application. It does not erase your priority date. It does not mean you should give up hope or abandon your case. In most situations, cases remain in the system and resume once the pause is lifted or conditions improve. If you've already submitted your immigrant visa application and completed certain steps, your case may simply be waiting. This waiting period can be frustrating, but it's often better than starting over. Checking your case status regularly and staying informed through official channels is key. One common mistake applicants make during times like these is relying on rumors or social media speculation. Immigration news spreads fast, and not all of it is accurate. One viral post can cause panic among thousands of applicants, even if the policy only affects a small group. Always try to verify information through official announcements or trusted immigration-focused sources. Another important question is whether non-immigrant visas are affected by these pauses. In many cases, immigrant visa pauses do not apply to non-immigrant visas, such as tourist visas, student visas, or temporary work visas. However, processing times for those visas may still be impacted indirectly due to staffing or workload issues at embassies. If you're currently outside the United States waiting for an immigrant visa interview, patience becomes your greatest challenge. While waiting, make sure your documents remain valid. Monitor expiration dates for medical exams, police certificates, and passports. Being prepared to move quickly once processing resumes can save you additional delays. For applicants already inside the United States, some may have alternative options, such as adjustment of status depending on their situation. In certain cases, applying for a green card from within the U.S. may continue even if consular processing abroad is slowed. However, eligibility depends on many factors, so professional guidance is often helpful. Let's talk about what you can do right now if you're affected by this pause. First, stay informed, but don't overwhelm yourself. Choose a few reliable sources and check for updates regularly, not obsessively. Constantly refreshing forums and comment sections can increase anxiety without providing real answers. Second, keep your case organized. Make sure you have copies of all documents, receipts, and correspondence. If something expires soon, be ready to renew it if required. This preparation can make a big difference once your case starts moving again. Third, be cautious about making irreversible life decisions based solely on temporary news. Quitting a job, selling property, or canceling plans prematurely can create additional stress if the pause turns out to be shorter than expected. Fourth, if your situation is urgent or complex, consider consulting a qualified immigration professional. While no one can bypass a government pause, getting personalized advice can help you understand your options and avoid mistakes. It's also worth remembering that immigration pauses have happened before. History shows that many of these interruptions eventually end. Processing resumes and visas are issued again. While delays can be painful, they are often part of a larger cycle of policy changes and administrative adjustments. For families, this waiting period can test patience and emotional strength. Staying connected, supporting each other, and focusing on what you can control can help you get through this uncertain time. You are not alone in this process. Millions of people around the world are navigating the same system. For employers and workers, communication is key. If your employment-based case is affected, staying in touch with your employer and understanding your temporary status options can help reduce risk while waiting for progress. As we look ahead, it's important to keep expectations realistic. Even after a pause is lifted, backlogs may take time to clear. Processing may resume gradually rather than all at once. Understanding this can help you mentally prepare for a slower than expected return to normal operations. At the same time, policy environments can change quickly. A pause today doesn't necessarily define the future of U.S. immigration. Laws, regulations, and priorities continue to evolve, sometimes in ways that create new opportunities as well as challenges. The key takeaway is this: a pause is not the end of your journey. It's a delay, not a denial. While it can feel discouraging, especially when your plans are tied to timelines you can't control, staying informed and prepared puts you in the best possible position. Here at U.S. Immigration Explorer, our mission is to help you understand what's happening, why it's happening, and how it may affect you, without fear, hype, or false promises. Immigration is a long road for many people, and clarity can make that road a little easier to walk. If you found this explanation helpful, take a moment to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future updates. We regularly break down immigration news, policy changes, and practical guidance in a way that's easy to understand. And remember, every immigration story is unique. While policies may pause and processes may slow, determination and preparation still matter. Keep moving forward, keep learning, and don't lose sight of why you started this journey in the first place. Thank you for watching U.S. Immigration Explorer. Stay informed, stay hopeful, and I'll see you in the next video.